This is TWiT.
All right, you may think it's too soon to start shopping for Christmas, and while you might actually be completely right in thinking that, CNET's editor-in-chief, Lindsey Turrentine, is here to tell you that you are living in a fantasy world. Welcome back to the show, Lindsey.
Hi, it's so good to be here.
It's awesome to get you back, Lindsey. Always great to get you on. So I will admit, I actually started shopping for Christmas last week. And Megan's heard me like, oh, yeah, I got this. Now I got this. Like 3 items so far, which I like to think means I'm getting it done sooner and in advance, but which I actually know deep down means I'm going to end up buying more by the time the holiday rolls around. Is this what retailers are banking on?
Well, I will start by saying I am really proud of you, Jason.
Oh, good.
Good job.
Thank you.
I don't think you're going to spend more. I think you're going to feel a little bit more relaxed as you move toward the holidays. But what retailers are counting on is it starting about now, but especially in the weeks moving up to Thanksgiving, the heat is going to be on and people will start spending more and more as they approach Black Friday. That has become such a big deal that people feel like they have to get a head start and get a jump on Black Friday itself. So you are not alone in your I need to get it going early. Although you might be missing the best deals by not waiting another week or two.
Well, I don't know. I have an app called SlickDeals that works really well for me as far as that's concerned. But you've probably heard of it. You guys have this holiday buyer's guide, so I'm sure you've heard of it. CNET actually just released its holiday buyer's guide literally like a couple of hours ago.
Yes.
Being a CNET alum myself, I know how tech crazy everyone gets there around the holidays. What are a few of the items that you're really excited about this season?
Well, I'm going to start by giving sort of a blanket recommendation, which is that if you have people in your life who still use wired headsets, and I know people feel really strongly about that, and there's some people like musicians who are going to keep using wired headsets for fidelity reasons, but for most normal people, if they do not have wireless headsets, buy them that now. And your options are just all over the place this year. So you can get a really decent pair of like Skull Candy wireless cans for $50. You can spend a lot more money than that if you want. You can buy AirPods, of course. You can buy wireless earbuds that are probably better than AirPods. We have tons of options in our guide, both in a collection of those and in all price points.
So we just got done talking about the Apple event this week and all the new products. And, of course, Apple released their earnings, which weren't so great. Are there Apple products on this list? Are you encouraging people to buy the new stuff, the phones or the iPads or the MacBook Airs?
Well, what's interesting is that when we talk about phones, the XR is actually the phone that we have been waiting for from Apple. If you are in that ecosystem and you want to stay in it and you've been looking for the best iPhone at the best price, it is that phone. So far, we are testing the heck out of it right now when it comes to battery life, but we are pretty impressed by that phone for the price that it is, and so we're recommending it. It's really hard to get a deal on Apple products at the holidays. Unlike many retailers, Apple just doesn't cut them. But our tip for finding deals on iPhones or any other Apple products if you're into it is to go through your carrier. If there's an Apple product that your carrier sells, so we're not talking about MacBooks here, but maybe iPads and definitely phones, go to your carrier because you could get lucky and find sort of a 2-for-1 deal if you add another line. We're seeing those this year. We haven't seen them in the past. It's a good time to shop on a family plan.
That's a good tip. And I mean, we're talking about smartphones, obviously. Apple phones in a different category for that very reason. They don't really go on sale very, very often. You're lucky if you find that. What about just smartphones in general? I feel like, I mean, as a tech, reviewer of phones, this time of year is just so chaotic because there's so many phones coming out. So usually I would tell people, all right, hold off until like they are out, and then you can make your decision. If people are planning on buying phones for the holidays, is now too early, or are we kind of beyond that point to where, okay, we know what we're getting now?
If you're going to buy a non-Apple phone, you might want to wait until the week of Black Friday, right? You could start shopping as early as the Monday before Thanksgiving, and there will be deals out there. And I would guess that if you're going to buy a non-iPhone, there's probably a person in your life asking for a specific phone. So find out which one they want because they will have an allegiance. I think that it is very rare for somebody to be saying, hey, I just want a generic Android phone.
Right.
But if you are shopping for something like a Pixel, give it a couple weeks, know exactly what you want, and then, like you said, do smart shopping. But I think much past Thanksgiving, you're not going to find a lot of phone deals that you haven't already heard of.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a smart home expert. CNET has at least one smart home where you guys get to test all kinds of fancy stuff. What do you recommend? What do you recommend buying for your family or friends or other people on your list, smart home stuff wise?
Well, it depends on so it's interesting. Smart home is one of those categories that there are a few people who are going to be like, I'm just into the smart home and I want to have everything for the smart home. But the reality of the smart home is buy them products that match their interests. So outside of the smart assistants and the assistant ready speakers, which most people probably already have at this point, find out whether the person you're buying a gift for is really into the kitchen, is really into their lighting, and then come into our guide and shop from there. We've got some really great recommendations for things like smart coffee makers. We've got the Instant Pot blender, which we actually really like. It's a blender that also cooks. Find out what they love and then go from there, because I promise that if they're into home decorating or they're into fitness or they're into anything else, you're going to find a smart recommendation in the guide.
So I wish I could credit the person on Twitter who said this, but I don't remember. But they coined the term Alexorcism, which is getting all of the smart home devices out of your house because you can't stand to have them. I wish I came up with that term, but I did not. But I mean, there's a lot of people who are like reaching the end. My husband is one. And so
that must be tough for you.
It is tough. We're still married for now, but we'll see. So what do you recommend for like before you really get these kind of devices, the devices that might listen to you or track you in other ways? I mean, do you recommend buying these for people who don't already have them?
If they're asking for it, sure. I mean, I think there are a lot of people right now, if they don't already have, an Echo Home product, or they haven't tried Google Home, they might feel a little left out or want to know what it's all about. And the price point is going to get so low that for instance, the Dot or the Google Home Mini will probably, just like last year, end up on sale for $35. So it's not going to be cost prohibitive to get somebody into that world if they are curious about it. If they're kind of meh about it, there are so many products that do amazing things that you can buy that are not, their selling point is not about connecting to the internet. So Instant Pot is a good example of that. Any sort of sous vide maker, if somebody really likes to cook or is really especially into cooking meat or eggs, there are all kinds of interesting things you might not know you can do with kitchen devices that don't require an internet connection.
Yeah, the Innova sous vide maker is actually really great. We don't use it all the time, but it was totally a Christmas gift, I think, last year or the year before. And it was a big hit. It was a total surprise for my wife. And it's pretty awesome. So definitely look into that.
I think absolutely that's a good example. Or here's the other gift. If you have some money to spend, get your family a robot vacuum.
Oh, yes. Good.
That is life-changing.
Yeah.
$300. We are recommending this year the Eufy RoboVac 30C. They can collect, or they can connect, or you can control them via Alexa or Google. But really what you're buying is not having to vacuum your floor every day, or just having a clean floor if you're not the kind of person who's going to vacuum every day. Yeah.
I just hope my dog doesn't attack it when it's going around. That's my worry there. We'll see. I'll have to buy one and let you know how that goes. What can consumers do? Obviously, you have the holiday gift guide, so that's a great place for consumers to go to find this information. But what about like apps and assistance around like price drops? Because price drops happen very suddenly nowadays. I already kind of spoiled it a little bit. My favorite go-to is SlickDeals. But does CNET recommend any services that can kind of track these prices?
The two that I like to bring up most often are Honey and CamelCamelCamel.
Oh, yeah.
They do very similar things, but they track prices. They tell you about price history so that you can do research and see if something really is that different from the price it's been offered at in the past. They both take coupons, or take into consideration coupons, so track those for you. Make sure that you're not missing a chance to get a discount that you didn't know you could get if you're buying something already. So those are the two we most often recommend.
I love honey. Like, honey is one of those things where, like, I kept hearing about it by so many people, and it just looked it sounded scammy to me for some reason. And then someone on another podcast that I trust recommended it, and I downloaded it, and I love it. I mean, I'm sure that they are gathering all kinds of data about the stuff that I buy, but I don't care, because it's like at the point of purchase where they show you that you could save money, as opposed to like SlickDeals, which sends me, I mean, you can go to SlickDeals and say, like, I want to buy this and this and this and tell me when it's cheaper. But I just like honey, and it's so cute. It's got a little dancing coin of some kind that says, I've looked through all the deals and you're getting the best price. So I definitely second that recommendation.
It is sort of a peace of mind thing. I think that the internet is so fractured and our shopping experience has become so complicated. While it is sometimes easier to get things shipped to your home, we spend a lot of time second guessing our choices. And it's just nice to have that reassurance.
Absolutely. So your guide went up today. Where do you want to point people to find CNET's holiday gift guide for 2018? Well, even if they think it's a little early, November 1st. But hey, this is prime season.
It's not early, y'all. It's not. It's after. We had the classy good graces to wait until after Halloween.
Good. Thank you at least for that. Where should people go?
They should go to holiday.cnet.com.
Oh, that's
or the
easy.
CNET app.
Yeah.
Either one.
And are there personal, like, do you have your list up there? Because sometimes I feel like when I read your tweets and Facebook posts that we're the same person. So do you have a list? Because I maybe just buy all that stuff.
I don't, but I should.
You should.
I should. Just buy all the things that CNET says. Okay. No, I'm kidding. We don't make money when you.
Okay.
We're not selling anything.
Okay. Right.
Except your awesomeness.
Yeah.
Lindsey Turrentine from CNET. Always great, Lindsey. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. We'll talk to you soon.